morning, good morning, good morning. Send this out to our Discord members. Yep. Not now. We'll come back to that. Good morning. So today we're going to be going over exactly what it is that we're going to be looking for in the markets. Yesterday we seen all of our targets got hit. And so we're going to revamp what it is that we're looking for and then what I'm expecting here for today. So let me just send this out to our team and we will get started. Boom. I hate that it always asks me, do you want to send now? Yes, I want to send now. Good morning, name. Good morning. Good morning. Be sure to like up the stream, you guys. Can we get to 10K likes? I appreciate each and every one of you. We are going to get started here today. So let's go ahead and let's lock it in. Let's talk about what happened yesterday, chat, because we had some very interesting things happen yesterday. Good morning, Gigi. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Well, if you've been living under a rock, you might not know what happened yesterday, but the ES, which is the S&P 500, and the Dow Jones, which is the US 30, have hit all-time highs, chat. All-time highs. These are record-breaking highs here that we've hit yesterday, both for the ES and the Dow Jones, and we've got to talk about it. Right, we've got to talk about it because what did we expect at the start of this new quarterly? Well, we expect all-time highs to get hit. Now, why is that? Because if you look at how we closed in Q2, the Q2 candles were just extremely bullish here, chat. Extremely bullish. MES extremely bullish. The Nasdaq still extremely bullish. The Nasdaq, the only one which hasn't broken the all-time highs yet. So there still leaves some opportunity and some room to run to all-time highs for the Nasdaq. But with the ES and the Dow Jones being at all-time highs, there are specific ways that we're going to want to look to capitalize on these moves, simply because when we're in all-time highs, we have no data to our left-hand side that we can look for the markets to potentially target. So we got to do our targets a little bit differently, which we'll get into here today. So first, let's do our step-by-step checklist that we go through each and every day. This is the Ace Trader method. Let me actually pull this up here so that you guys can see it. I know it's been a while since you guys seen this here. Let me pull it up. Okay. Boom. Boom. There we go. So in terms of this, the first thing that we want to do when we hop onto our market session, and let me scoot it over so that you guys can see it there, is we want to wait for our 9:30 open. Why do we wait for the 9:30 open, chat? Do you recommend an instant funded account? So I recommend an instant funded account for a specific type of trader. Typically, the rules on an instant funded account are going to be a little stricter and the price point is going to be a little bit higher. If you do have a profitable trading strategy, then yes, I could say go ahead and go with the instant funding, especially if you don't mind paying a little bit more. But there are better opportunities than the instant funding, especially on the long term when it comes to that there. Talk to me. So in terms of the New York session, can you show the entry you took yesterday? Yeah, I'll show that as well. So in terms of the New York session, we trade 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, why we trade this is because of the influx in volume that we typically have at this time. Somebody said they wanted to see well, let's actually go to yesterday when we had our 9:30 open. Let's talk to me. What's that right here? I believe it was right here. Yep. Boom. Okay, so 9:30 open. Look at that volume that we had come into the markets. Let me slide this over so that I can see my toolbar here. Look at that volume there. So in terms of executing on this move, dialing it back down to our 1 minute time frame, this candle closed right here. You go to your 1 minute. You can see that that closed right there, right, with this candle. It closed right here with this candle. Right, this was that close that we got. So in terms of this, we typically want to scale in on our first 1 minute candle that closes bullish after that 5 minute impulse will move to the upside. My entry candle is right here for this continuation. Stops goes below this here, and I was just looking for a 1 to 2 to happen yesterday. Even though we had an absolutely amazing run, we actually had some targets that we were looking for price to gravitate to yesterday. It absolutely blew through our targets there in the VIP, and it completely took off. I'm not gonna lie to you. you, this is a trade that I probably should have held a little bit longer, right? Held a little portion of it, but I was just looking for that 1 to 2. Targets were hit, and it absolutely slid yesterday. Absolutely slid. We had resistance, piece de resistance up here at the 29, like 627 area of interest that we could have held to, and then at the very least at 29, 647. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of this here today, let's go ahead and let's talk about what the market structure is doing. Well, chat, are we in a bullish or bearish market structure here on the 4-hour time frame? Are you trading MNQ this NY session? Yes, I will be trading MNQ. I will either trade it MNQ, MES, or MYM. It just depends on which asset that looks the best market open. But if we're looking at this here, J Star says bullish, Raven says bullish, right? Latrell says bullish. This is an absolute immense bullish market. And that's the first thing that we want to do when we hop onto our charts. We want to identify the 4-hour direction. Again, if you guys want this step-by-step system, make sure you DM me the word ACE and I will send it to you so that you guys can have this here, right? But we can't avoid checking our news events for the session. Now, because we go live in our VIP over the weekend, we know what news event that we have coming out today. We have PMI data, right? We got some PMI data that's going to be releasing here. You can see that coming out at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also have ADP employment change, which will be coming out here in roughly 2 minutes, right? So in roughly 2 minutes, we do have some high impacting news that can move the market structure. And then we have that PMI data that's going to come out at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So now that we've identified our direction on our 4-hour time frame, now what do we need to do, chat? We need to identify the direction on our 15-minute. Now, why do we want to do this? We want to identify the direction on our 15-minute because this is going to let us to know whether we're in a continuation structure or whether we're in a corrective structure. So if we dial it down here to our 15-minute time frame, well, what is this 15-minute time frame telling us here, chat? And if we're looking specifically at this wave here, and for those of you who've been here for a while, you guys know we are going to be playing our most beloved game, Cook or Be Cooked, here in a second. But let's talk about it. You expecting a continuation or inversal NY? Well, it depends on what the price action shows me. Caught a 612 point trade on NQ yesterday. Thank you for the help. W's, Jay. W's. I'm glad you was able to capitalize yesterday. W trade. Consolidation, continuation, consolidation. Well, that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, is this bullish or is this bearish, chat? Talk to me, chat. Talk to me here today. Is this bullish or is this bearish, right? Is this bullish or is this bearish? Adrian says a bullish continuation. I appreciate you guys following up, all of you who are joining the community here today. Hey, real quick, just in case, if anybody messages you outside of this page, right? And there might be other pages that look like my page, but it's not my page. They can't be me. They can only replicate what it looks like to be me, right? Don't let them scam you out of your money. I had some people message me yesterday. Latrell says bullish. Raven says bullish. Online says bearish. Xavier says bullish. It's bullish overall, but I think the market needs to rebalance all that inefficiency. Well, it can, but that doesn't mean that it's going to, right? We need the markets to prove to us before that. Because of your analysis, I can make a nice profit yesterday. Thank you so much. W's in the chat, guys. W's in the chat. W's. It's free followers, bro. When the scammers follow you, they don't follow me, they block me and then follow you guys and then message you guys trying to get you to sign up for something. So just keep in mind, if it's, you know, if somebody hits you up, oh, follows you, okay, yeah, I feel you. So W's, guys, for all of you who was able to capitalize yesterday. Well, if it's still with ES in all-time highs, I'm going to say bullish. Yes, so the market structure is currently bullish, chat. Now, what we have to do is we're going to play our favorite beloved game here. If you guys are new here, we play a game each and every day called Cook or Be Cooked, where you guys help me to identify where our key area of interest high is and where our key area of interest low. Now, why this game is important is because it helps you to identify when the market structure is flipping from being bullish to now being technically bearish, and where we could actually look for the markets to target in terms of a break of structure. So as of right now, before we even get into our game, you guys told me that the 4-hour is bullish and the 15-minute is bullish as well, which means we're looking for what type of market structure. We're looking at what type of market structure. Is this a continuation structure or is this a corrective structure, chat? How do you know exactly when to jump into the markets? We have a candle confirmation that lets me know when it is that I want to get into the markets, especially if it is in alignment with my larger time frame trend, right? Adrian says a continuation. J-Star says a continuation. If you guys are enjoying this, be sure to keep liking up the stream so that we can get this out to many people. We want as many people as possible on here playing this game of cook or be cooked, and I appreciate you guys who are following up randomly. Appreciate the follow there, right? And Drina, Dreen and Drunk. I appreciate the heart me. I was cooking that thing. Can we go over entries? Can we go over entries briefly if possible? We can take a look at entries. We do trade live in our VIP. So if you want to trade live in our VIP with me, we go over entries, we go over exits, we go over a lot of different things over the weekend. Last weekend, we spent an hour on just how to scale with prop firms and the risk management that you should use with scaling with prop firms. So if you guys want to join the VIP, we will be going live in the VIP in roughly about an hour or so. So make sure you DM me the word join so that we can go over that. Looks like the same exact setup as last Thursday. I think bullish continuation. If you guys said this was a bullish continuation, you are absolutely correct. This is, in fact, a bullish continuation. I mean, woo, we are very bullish, chat. I'm talking very bullish. And we talked about this on Monday, right? Or actually, was it yesterday, early yesterday, that this can be the start of this super bullish run. Like we could be going on another bullish tear, right? Like how we did from April to May, right? You see this bullish run? This bullish run was crazy. And where did it happen at? It happened at that larger time frame retest level. So guess what? We got a larger time frame retest here, and we got a bullish impulsive move to the upside. So these moves to the downside have been slow. This move to the upside very, very quick. And these waves, we want to make sure that we're capitalized on them, right? And I don't want you guys to miss out on this. So be sure to join the VIP if you guys do want to trade live with me, because we will be taking advantage of this bullish wave, right? You don't get these waves often, but when you get them, you do want to make sure that you're taking advantage of them. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be playing our game Cook or Be Cooked, chat, where you guys help me to identify where our key area of interest high and where our key area of interest low is. So talk to me, chat. Where is our key area of interest high? Is it one here, chat? Hold on, you guys know my keyboard got to connect. 0.2 delay. All right, there we go. 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, or 4 here. Where is our key area of interest high? Said he made 150% on full positions on QQQ yesterday, and runners did 225. Absolute banger. Absolute banger. You guys are absolutely crushing this market. And this is the market where we talked about, you guys, there's a time when you want to be more defensive and a time where you want to be more aggressive. And the market structure that we have going on and the price action, all-time highs being hit, this is when we want to be a little more aggressive. That doesn't mean we want to over risk or over leverage, but that means we could be looking to hold profits to larger targets, and we can look to get, a little bit more aggressive when it comes to our risk profile. Just make sure that you stay inside of your risk management rules. So in terms of this, what do we got here? Adrian says 2, Jay says 2, Randomly says 2, Loud says 2, Chad says 2, Woman Lover says 2, Jay Moore says 4, J Star says 2, Name 3, Raven 2, Online says 4, 2 not 3 says Name, Xavier says 2, Gigi says 3, Jay Moore says 4. What do we got, right? Where are we at? Where are we at? We're shorting this till 4-hour fog, then long all-time highs. We'll see. We'll see, right? Chad says 2. Jay Moore says 4. Okay, what is our key area of interest high, chat? If you guys said 1, and I didn't see about anybody say 1, we got about 116 of you guys on here. Be sure that you're liking the stream so that we can get this out to more people. If you guys said 1, you guys are absolutely cooked. Go ahead and drop a follow. I don't want this to be the last time that you guys see me. I want you guys to be able to show up and understand where your key area of interest high, and this is not your key area of interest high, chat. And if you said 3, you guys are also cooked. This is not our key area of interest high, chat. It isn't. This is not the key area of interest high. You guys are cooked. Now that just leaves 2 and 4, chat. What are we feeling? What are we feeling in the chat? I should see the chat going absolutely crazy. We got 122 of you on here. Can we get to 10K likes? Can we get to 10K likes, chat? So 3K Trade says 2, Xavier says 2, Adrian says 2, J Moore says 4, J Star says 2, randomly says 2 for sure. Name says 2. I see you guys with the 2. Dre says 2. Twin, I see you, Dre. My time says 2. Well, what is the right answer? If you guys said 2, you guys absolutely cooked up here today. W's in the chat for the 2s because this is our key area of interest high. Why is this our key area of interest high, chat? Because it's the highest point in our market structure currently, right? In the wave that we're currently in, this is the highest point. That's our key area of interest high. Now, why is our key area of interest high important? Because this is where we would likely look for the market to target, right? This is the first target that we would anticipate the markets to go. We're going to show you how you can actually set more targets based off of grabbing the data to our left-hand side and how to set targets with the ES and the YM when they're in all-time highs and you have no data to the left-hand side. But the first target that we'll be looking for the markets to head to today is going to be this 2 high up here. So W's in the chat for all of you who said 2s. This is our key area of interest high. 4s, unfortunately, you guys are cooked. This is not our key area of interest high. Go ahead and drop a follow if you even thought 4, right? So in terms of this here, now we got to do our key area of interest low. Where is our key area of interest low, chat? Talk to me. Is it 1 here? Is it, oh, let me get this 2 away. Is it 2 here? Is it 3 here? Or is it 4 here? 1, 2, 3, or 4, chat. Talk to me. Adrian says 2. Xavier says 1. J Star says 1. Where is our key area of interest low? Randomly says 4. Chad says 3. Online user says 2. Loud says 2. Raven 2. Name 2. These guys are saying 2 here in the chat. Again, if you guys are getting some value out of this, be sure to drop a follow. I want to build this community of traders who are elite. We call them market assassins, market detectives, right? We're taking all the clues that the markets are giving us in order to formulate a plan to make money. Those of you who were on here yesterday, you guys should have made money on this bullish wave. Our VIPers, they know we made money on this bullish wave here, and I want you guys to make money. That's what this is all about. How many of you want to make money? Drop a yes in the chat. Right? How many of you want to make money? So my time says 2. Dre says 2, gang. I see you, Dre. Right? I am already rolling up for post new NY sesh. He said, hey, look. He says he's already ready. He's got it loaded. Adrian says, yes, I see you guys. Yes, right? You guys absolutely want to make money in the markets, right? So in terms of this, where is our key area of interest low? This is the low that, if broken, would actually flip this structure from being bullish to now being technically bearish. And if you guys said 1, you guys are absolutely cooked. This is not our key area of interest low. Remember, our low is the lowest point that started the move for our break of our previous high. The lowest point that started the move for the break of our previous high. Well, we have not broken this high yet, so 1 could not be our low. You guys are absolutely cooked. If you said 4, you guys are also absolutely cooked because this high got broken. Then we created a new high and a new high and a new high. So that can't be our key area of interest low where the market shifts. You would have missed this full wave to the downside if you were waiting for 4 to get broken. And likewise with the 3s, you guys are also cooked because we have shifted at 2. Now, why is 2 our key area of interest low? I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a hint here, right? If you go from your previous high to your current high and you drag the box down, it's going to be the lowest point inside of the box. Every time we do this, it's the lowest point inside of the box. That's going to be 2 there. Now, what happens at 2, chat? What did I say that is so important about this area? What would happen here? I got you. I would have been cooked. Xavier would have been cooked, right? Would have been cooked. A change of character. Absolutely right. Dr. Bonebuster, I appreciate you following here today. Can you explain how to execute once we get to our key areas, please? Yes, this is also something that, again, Nate, we go over in our VIP. So if you guys do want to join our VIP, that's where we actually trade live. But I will walk you guys through a quick example of yesterday of how we executed on yesterday's trade in terms of, understanding how our entry works. Because our entry criteria is what we don't go on, but we need to know our confirmation candles. So in terms of this here, this is our change of character. This is when the market would actually shift from being bullish to now being technically bearish. So what do we want to see today? Well, we want to see this level hold. Now, in terms of you're asking me, okay, Kai, well, okay, we're bullish, but where are we looking for the markets to go? First target is going to be 29,986, really up to this 30,000 solid hold number. You guys know I love my solid hold numbers. Now, above this 30,000 solid hold number, we really need to see how price is going to react, because we have a very impulsive leg to the upside right here with yesterday's move. Very, very impulsive. Strong bullish move to the upside. Now, in terms of resistance above this level, our next immediate level of resistance is going to be up here at, what is this number? 30,100. That's where we see this next resistance. Drop a yes in the chat if you see why I picked out this level here, right? Drop a yes in the chat if you're understanding why I picked out this level. It's the next immediate area of resistance that we see price reject off of. Well, you're asking me, okay, Kai, how do you know that? Well, if you see this here, look at these highs that we got from this level. Look at the move that you got from these highs, right? This tells me that this area right here is a pretty strong level. Right, this is a pretty strong level. Can we all agree on that? Drop a yes in the chat if we can agree on that. Right, so if we were breaking this 30,000 high, then that 30,100 high where we have resistance is where we would look for the markets to go. Right now, above this 30,000 high, we got moves back up into this 30,300. Right, 30,300 would be my next target if we get this continuation. Now, if we break back below this low, this 29,757, repping the 757, that's where I'm from, then we could actually see a pretty steep move to the downside. Right, next immediate resistance below this, I mean, we just got very clean price action. And it's not to say that price is going to come all the way back down into this resistance here, right? But I'm telling you, this is where we got clean price action too. We do have some intermediate levels within here, but if we start to break through this low, I just think that we're going to probably get this impulsive move to fill this all the way back down, which is just not as likely, right? Not to say that it's not possible, but it's just not as likely, just based on how much volume we've pushed up with here yesterday, and then coming into today with another anticipated bullish daily candle and all the volume that we have here. So is everybody understanding exactly what it is that I'm looking for? My boy said Norfolk. Yeah, I'm in Virginia Beach. I'm in Virginia Beach for sure. Where can I read the news? You can go to MyFX book to understand where the news is coming out and the direction of the news. So quick rule of thumb here, if we click on this news event, you can see that it says a higher than expected figure should be seen as positive bullish for the USD, which would actually push the market technically down. And while a lower than expected figure should be seen as negative bearish for the USD, which would push the market up, right? So in terms of this news that we just had released, what did it come out? It came out less than expected, which is negative for the USD, but bullish for our indices, right? So we fundamentally are in a bullish sentiment based off of the news that we just had released. And we do have more news that's going to be released at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? This is not to say that it's always like that, but this is just a rule of thumb, right, to go by in terms of how to read your news, right? How to read your news. Drop a yes if that's making sense. Did you capitalize off of yesterday's movement? You know it. You know it. You think I'm going to see all of this price action, all this clean candle work, and I'm not going to get me a piece? You know I'm going to get me a piece. All right. All right. Where site was that? This is MyFX book, right? This is MyFX book. All right. So in terms of that there, yeah, so that's what we would be looking for, right? So this is what I'm looking for on the NQ here today. Push back up into the 30,000 highs, potentially back up into the 30,100. Above there, we got clean price action up into the 30,303, right? Up into the 30,303. Where do you go for news? MyFX book, right? MyFX book. That's what this website is called. Or you can go to Forex Factory. Forex Factory, MyFX book. They're both going to work for you just fine. Forex Factory actually will give you news tweets that Trump is tweeting out. So if there's some tweet that he says and it tanks the market or it plummets the market, you'll be able to see it there on Forex Factory. Yeah, thank you, Chaz, for dropping that there. MyFX book on Forex Factory. All right, so let's take a look real quick at the ES because we are in all-time highs, chat. Real quick, we're going through our step-by-step checklist. If you guys are just joining us here, we go through this each and every day. This is how we actually capitalize in the markets. First thing that we want to do is we make sure that we're trading our 9:30 open, right? We don't want to trade before 9:30 open because the 9:30 could add volume that could actually influence the direction of our price action for the day. I don't want to be in before that, but we then want to check MyFX book for any news events for the session. You guys seen that we had ADP announcements just had, and we have PMI data that's going to come out at 10 a.m. Then we want to identify, after we check those off, we want to identify our overall direction on the 4-hour trend. That's what we're going to do here today. Guys, if you guys want this step-by-step checklist along with my free trading journal, which allowed me to learn the system that I'm actually teaching you guys, be sure to DM me the word ACE, right? ACE, that's my gift to you guys. I'll make sure that you guys get that after this stream here today. So taking a look at this 4-hour time frame, chat, talk to me. Is this 4-hour time frame bullish or bearish? Right? And this should be very clear. This should be like so abundantly clear, chat, right? We got some clean price action. Finally, we got some clean price action. So Tajada, I'm so sorry if I butchered your name, says bull, randomly says bull. Talk to me today, chat. What we got? What do we have? Right? J-Star says bullish. Name says bullish. Right? If you're confused, say IDK. Right? Drop a IDK. If you don't know what the market structure is, whether it's bullish or bearish, drop a IDK. I want to make sure that we're clearing that up. Raven says bullish. Gigi says bullish. My Time says bullish. Donovan says I don't know. Okay, Donovan. So a bullish market structure is a market that is going up. Right? And how we identify that is by the creation of higher highs and higher lows. Well, what are highs and what are lows? Any peak that we see, and I like to call them my mountain peaks, those are going to be our highs, right? Those are going to be our highs there. So any peak here, the peak, let me just grab this. A peak here, the peak here, these are our highs. Our lows are going to be our valley lows. These are going to be our bottom points in the markets, right? So if our lows, right, this low being higher than our previous low, that means we created a higher low, a HL, right? This low higher than the previous low. We read the charts from left to right. Then that means we're creating higher highs, which means our highs are higher than our previous highs, which just means that we're creating higher highs and higher lows, which means we're in a bullish market structure, meaning we are going up. That's what that is. Real quick example there for anybody who was confused as to what it is. So in terms of this, the chat is saying that the market structure is going up. And if we do that here, you guys will be absolutely right. This is a bullish market structure, right? This is an absolutely bullish market structure. If you guys are getting value out of this, be sure to tap the screen. We're almost at 10K. Like, can we hit 20K, chat? Can we hit 20K? We got about another 20 or so minutes that we're going to be on here. So let's go ahead and hit 20K. We got 111 of you guys on here. I absolutely appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Now let's dial it down to our 15-minute time frame, chat, because that's the next step that we need to do. We need to identify what our 15-minute direction is doing. You guys have just told me that the 4-hour direction is bullish. Well, let's take a look at the 15 and what is it telling us here. In terms of the wave that we're currently in, chat, is this a bullish or is this a bearish wave here on our 15-minute time frame? Talk to me, right? Are we bullish or are we bearish on this 15-minute? And if you're confused, I'll draw it out for you. We got a high, a low, a higher high, higher low, a higher high. Right? O says bull, J Star says bull. This is absolutely a bullish market structure. You guys are absolutely correct. This is a bullish market structure. So now what we got to do is we got to play our game, chat. We got to play our game. We got to play cook or be cooked, where you guys help me to identify the key area of interest high and the key area of interest low. So if you got cooked last time we played, let's go ahead. Let's clean it up right here. So in terms of this, where is our key area of interest high, chat? Is it 1 here? Boop. 1 here. Hold on. Wait for it. 1 here. 2 here. Or 3 here. 1, 2, or 3, chat. Where is our key area of interest high? Talk to me. 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. So Woman Lover says 2, DXNFX says 1, welcome, J Star says 1, My Time says 1, Pikia says 1, Name says 1, Woman Lover changes his answer to 1, Gigi says 1. I don't know what you mean by that. No worries. Oh, I got you. We're going to clear that up. Our key area of interest high is the highest point in our market structure currently. That's it, right? It's the highest point in the market structure that we're looking at currently, right? I had to reread the chart. No worries, Woman Lover. I feel you. I feel you. Sometimes you got to take a second glance, right? Next Gen Homes TV service says 3. Loud says 1. O says 2. Yesterday after 5-minute close, 9:35. Woman close bullish. You wait for the pullback. Yes, sir. I waited for the pullback instead of just hopping in because it just was so impulsive, right? Right, Adrian, and that is subjective, right? You typically just entering in on the first 1 minute after the market closes is possible, right, if you have some more structure. But when we are in an impulsive move like that, you do want to wait for some type of pullback to happen before looking to enter for that possible continuation, Adrian. Okay, so in terms of this here, chat, 1 is our key area of interest high. So if you said anything other than 1, or you thought anything other than 1, you guys are absolutely cooked. Go ahead and drop a follow. I don't want this to be the last time that you guys see me. I don't want this to be the last time you guys see me. That's our key area of interest high. So what is our key area of interest low, chat? Is it 1 here, Is it 2 here? Oh, wait for it. 2 here, 3 here. Goodness, come on, let me grab it. 3 here, no diddy. 4 here. Talk to me, chat. Talk to me. What is it? Typically wait for a pullback so you won't be stopped out. Absolutely right. Right? Absolutely right. So 1, 2, 3, or 4, chat. What is our key area of interest low? 1, 2, 3, or 4. This is the area that if broken, we would actually shift the market structure from being bullish to being bearish. JMT, I appreciate the heart me. I see you there. No diddly. Yeah. Woman Lover says 4. What are we rocking with here, chat? Well, if you guys said 1, you guys are absolutely cooked. This is not our key area of interest low, chat. If you guys said 2, you guys are also cooked. Not the key area of interest low. That means it's just between 3 and 4. And let me tell you, chat, it's not 3, so it must be 4. Why is this? Again, our key area of interest low is the lowest point that started the move for the break of our previous high. Well, where was our previous high? Our previous high was right there. Guess what? This is the lowest point that started that move for the break of your high. Why is this important? Because this is our new higher low. You guys remember how we was just talking about higher highs and higher lows? This is our higher low. Guess what happens if you break through this? You get a lower low. What happens when you create a lower low? You likely would get a lower high. What does that do? That shifts the market structure from being bullish, which was creating higher highs and higher lows, to now creating lower lows and lower highs. And this is why it's important for you to identify where your key area of interest low is, because that is going to be the first shift in the markets to shift it from being bullish to now being bearish. Is that making sense? Drop a yes in the chat if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, right? Drop a yes in the chat if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? We hit 10K likes. Can we hit 20K, chat? I believe that you guys can hit 20K. I believe that my like warriors are out there and you guys are tapping that screen so that we can hit 20K. If you're getting value out of this, tap the screen so we can hit 20K. That's how you guys can support the stream. And if you guys are getting value, be sure to drop a follow, right? I don't want this to be the last time that you see me. We got good vibes, good tides, and good analysis here. Each and every day we hopping on here to break it down. You feel me, right? Talk to me. Dr. Bone says, yes, talk to me. JZL says, yo, what's popping right now? What's popping right now is all of our indices. They are going to the moon, right? They are going to the moon. So in terms of what I'm looking for today, we are in a continuation structure here for the ES, but we're in all-time high. So here with me, chat, right? How do we trade in all-time highs? Because typically we go to our left-hand side and we're looking for where the market could get some resistance off of. But when you're in all-time highs, you got no resistance. So how do we look to target it, right? How do we look to find our target? So this is where we're going to look to target solid whole numbers. What is our solid whole numbers? We're at 7,800 right now. That's a solid whole number, right? 7,900 is a little ways away. Am I right, chat? That's a little ways away. But it's going to be your 7,010, 7,008, 7,810, 7,820, 7,830, 840, right? Because we have no resistance to our left-hand side that can really tell us where the market can flip off of. Somebody say until the market gives us some type of pullback, right? That says, okay, this is where we have resistance at. So you can see here, we're getting a little bit of a pullback off of this 7,805. If we come all the way back down into these lows here, well, guess where I'm gonna look for price to target? 7,805. That's the resistance that we're currently forming, right? Where are we finding a little bit of a pullback off of? Take a look at how we reacted off of the 7,800, right? This is the 7,800 high. Look at what happens once we got to this solid whole number. We got a pullback, right? Price tapped back into it again, got a little bit of a pullback. We pushed above it. We resisting right off of it now. So this is why we look to target solid whole numbers when we're in all-time highs, right? This is psychological levels. Absolutely right, Demetrius, right? Psychological levels. That's what we got to look to target. So let's go over here to the YM and let's talk about what the YM was telling us, because we talked about this yesterday. It was already in the all-time highs pre-market, right? So what was we looking for in the YM yesterday? Well, let's get to it. You feel me? Let's get a little to it, right? It ain't nothing but to do it, but to get into it. So 54,000. We was like, okay, 54,000 highs. Let's just look at it yesterday, because we was in all-time highs, right? Pre-market came in, we was right at, we was in that market session right in here, right? We said 54,000 highs, or 54,100, excuse me. because we had already broken 54,000 highs pre-market. 54,100 was that solid hold number. Look at the reaction off of the 54,100. Hold on. 54,100 was a target. Let me, if it'll let me draw this. 54,100, boom. And then we have 54,200, which is right here, boom. 54,300, which is right here, boom. Hold on, wait for it. There we go. 54,400. Where's that at? Right here. Now I want you guys to grab the wrong thing. Look at the reaction off of these levels, right? We came into this 54,100 solid hold number. We pushed all the way back down. We pushed above. Guess what we did? We came back down to retest that 54,100. Then what did we do? We pushed above that 54,200, came right back to that 54,200 to retest. Where did price go? It pushed up to the 54,300, got a little resistance off of there, pushed up to 54,400, came back down to the 54,300, right? So these psychological hold numbers are where we would look to target when we're in these all-time highs. Is this making sense? Drop a yes in the chat if this is making sense to you, right? I want to make sure. So can we expect any shorts today? I am not shorting this market, right? This is like stepping in front of a moving train. Unless the market shifts and it shifts with a ton of volume, right? I'm not trying to step in front of a moving train. And I'm sure that you guys don't want to step in front of a moving train either. There's so much bullish volume in the markets right now. And I know a lot of traders are like, oh, well, the market has to pull back and it has to come back. And eventually it might. It just might. It just hasn't proven that to us yet. Remember, we're market detectives. So we take the clues that the market is giving us in order to formulate a plan on how to actually execute, which is why we play the game of cook or be cooked, because we want to identify when does the market structure actually shift from being bullish to now being technically bearish. That's the first clue that the market could actually go down. As of right now, in this current market, the market is just pushing up, right? So I'm not going to want to hop in front of this. This is the YM, Chaz. Yes, this is the YM. Right, the Dow Jones, the US 30, whatever you want to call it. It goes by a bunch of different names, but that's what it is, right? So in terms of this here today, well, we're still in a technical bullish market structure based on our 15-minute time frame. We had a high get created, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, boom, just like that. Where's our key area of interest low? That's going to be down here at your 54,368 level. Where's our key area of interest high? That's going to be up here at this 54,550 level. That's where your key area of interest high is. And so where will we anticipate the markets to target? That 54,550 level. Above that 54,550, we have clean price action. Well, we ain't got no price action. Upwards to that solid hold number at that 54,600. Above there, you guys know 54,700, 54,800. You know, this could go on for quite some time, right? But you guys get the gist here as to how we would be looking to execute. Now, for me personally, I like trading the NQ simply because we still got some price action that we can look for price to actually go to. We got some actual legit targets that we can look to target because price has proven to us in the past that it's wanted to reverse off of these levels. So for me personally, I'm going to be traded NQ until we get into all-time highs. All right. All right. And where's all-time highs? All-time highs for the NQ is going to be upwards here of this 30,000 or 31,000, chat. 31,000. That's where our all-time highs are for the NQ. So we got quite a ways to go until the NQ breaks all-time highs. And I want to get every drop that I can, you know, on the way into these all-time highs, right? The price is going to go to all-time highs. I want to capitalize off of it, right? Jay says, I watched a lot of live streams. This broski has probably some of the best info out there. Well, I absolutely appreciate that, right? Facts, he's turned my trading around crazy. So many green days. W's, chat, W's, right? Right, W's. Who was your mentor? My mentor was trial and error. It was a terrible mentor. And that's why I want you guys to join the VIP. So you guys don't have to go through the trial and error that I had to go through, right? It took 3 years of putting all of this together. I've taken bits and pieces from a lot of different traders. I've learned price action from people like Roger Banks and understanding how price action works. But in terms of the overall market structure, I learned how to trade or how news affects the markets from trader Nick. He is very, very fundamental bias in how the fundamentals actually work. But I've done a lot of studying, right? And how do all of these pieces come together? And it just came through a lot of trial and error, right? My specific system on how I execute though, that's me, right? That's all me, player. That's all me, right? Jay and Lion, I absolutely appreciate you guys, right? I appreciate you guys. What platforms are you on? I am on all the platforms. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagrams. I'm on YouTube. Twitter, I'm not really as big on Twitter or X and Threads, but you know, all of my videos on Instagram get posted to Threads anyways. But we do have a bunch of more YouTube videos coming out, so be sure to subscribe to For the Culture FX on YouTube, because I already have 4 different videos in the pipeline. Matter of fact, there's a video that's going to be dropping today. I just don't know which one I want to drop, right? I don't know which one I want to drop, chat. But I already got 4 videos in the pipeline, and we're probably going to create like 3 or 4 more here today, because we got a lot to talk about, right? We got a lot to talk about. Are you trading NFP? I will be trading the volume following NFP, chat. I'll be trading the volume following NFP. Did you ever try ICT? No, because I always thought that it was overcomplicated, right? I believe in keeping trading simple. Make trading simple again, right? That's my whole thesis as to why I built For the Culture FX, right? How many of you feel that you understand what's going on here, right? You don't feel very confused. Drop a yes in the chat if it's making sense to you, right? We haven't talked any type of ICT concepts besides a change of character, which is just a change in trend direction. But that's based on how the markets move, right? How many of you feel that this is pretty easy to understand? How many of you feel this is pretty easy to understand? Drop a yes in the chat there. Right, Jay says yes. Okay, Jay, thank you. The only one who understands, right? I'm better than I was yesterday. That's what we're talking about here, my time. What do we talk about? That's called the aggregations of marginal gains. It's something that's talked about in Atomic Habits, a book that I've read, right? Where we just want to get 1% better than we were yesterday, right? You're not in competition with anybody else but the person that you were yesterday. And if you feel that you got better than you were yesterday, then that is how we're going to continue to grow, chat. Right, so Adrian says yes, Cynthia says yes, Gigi says yes, Name says yes, right? I wouldn't say ICT is complicated. It depends on how you learn. Yeah, no, absolutely, right? What I meant more so was the concepts and the terminology in the explaining of how price action works. We try to get it back down to the ABCs: higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, targets, X, Y, and Z, right? That's it. You know what I mean? Like, it's the ABCs of trading around here, right? So in terms of all of the complex market talk, right? Because a lot of people will hear all of that stuff and then they'll get confused and they don't know which fair value gap they should be looking at, which order block they're looking at. Some of those things are subjective. Guess what isn't subjective? Price action, higher highs, higher lows. My key area of interest low, you guys, that's why we play cook or be cooked, because there's only one key area of interest low. There's only one key area of interest high, right? There's not multiple that you can be subjective about. There's one, and it's specific based on how the price action is moving. There's one thing, I heard a great quote a couple years back. It's one thing to trade a strategy. It's another thing to trade how the markets actually move. And what I'm trying to teach you guys is how to trade how the markets actually move, right? How to set your targets. How do you know where your key area of interest is? Where am I looking for price to go? How do I actually do my entry? That's what we talk about in our VIP. So you guys have been an absolute pleasure to be on here for today. We have PMI data, yes, coming out at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or not 8 a.m., 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? So 9 a.m. if you are, I don't know what the other standard times are. I can't lie to you. I was just like Pacific. I have no idea actually. Are you waiting for news or 9:30 today? I'm waiting for the 9:30 open today. Once we get the 9:30 open, I'm going to get in on my move. After, I see my candle confirmation, I'm going to look for a possible continuation of this bullish structure because we've just been so bullish. And I'm going to look to capitalize on my said plan here today, right? That's what I'm going to be doing. 3 p.m. London time. I couldn't tell you, right? President Trump speaks at 3 p.m. Oh, DeSauce, talk to me. What time is that? 3 p.m. Eastern Standard? You got to drop it in there because, we are all everywhere, right? We're all everywhere. How do you trade? My full step-by-step trading blueprint, I give you guys absolutely free if you guys DM me the word ACE, A-C-E. Well, this is going to have to wrap up our session here today. We are going to be going live trading this exact market structure that we broke down in our VIP. So if you guys want to join the VIP, right, we're going to be capitalizing in the VIP in roughly 25 minutes, right? So I do not want you guys to miss out on it. We got 106 of you guys on here. I want each and every one of you to be on for our VIP session so that you guys can learn how we're actually executing in real time in these markets. These are the markets that you really want to take advantage of, chat, right? These are the markets that we want to take advantage of. These super clean price action, super clean market structure. You do not want to be on the sidelines at this time. This is where we make the most of our money, right? This is where you're going to make the most of your money. Why? Because the market is moving with so much volume, right? It's moving with so much volume, meaning that we can catch some banger trades, chat. We can catch some banger trades, and this does not happen often, right? The last time we was in, for the bullish run like this was back in April through May, right? So that means we went through June and July, right, to get all of this pullback, and now we're at the start of what could be another immense bullish run right here, and we are going to make it pay, right? We're going to make it pay. So if you guys want to join, make sure you DM me the word join, and I will send you the link. The VIP session is just $50. It is just $50 to learn how to actually execute in real time with me and the team. I will see you guys in there. My name is Kyrien Idlebird. This is for the Culture FX. This is what I wish I had when I first started trading. And I hope that you guys are able to capitalize today based off of what we broke down here on the chat. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace from the Middle East. Well, just from the East. You know what I mean?